Hey there, welcome to One Take, powered by backers.
Right? No judging. No judging.
The millennials are really changing that.
Is charm.
No. All success begins with desire.
I feel like I'm on fire right now.
OMG, baby, tell them.
Welcome to One Take, powered by backers. I'm Justin Fox. I have Amanda Deschamps. Hopefully I said that right. I didn't ask you before. Is it Deschamps? Or with plural or no plural? Yes. Which do you prefer?
No plural. Thank you.
No plural. Deschamps. Okay, perfect. Amanda is. Thanks again for joining me here this morning.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, it's great to have you on. So we've kind of connected probably a couple months ago, but just a quick bio. So you're a human resources and networking professional who connects recruiters with employers across Canada, and you've got the best network of recruiters is the organization, I believe, correct?
Yes, I do.
There you go. Awesome. So why don't you do a quick intro of yourself and sort of what it is that you're up to? I know you're out here in BC. You said you're in Abbotsford, right?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. So tell us a little bit about the best network of recruiters and what got you to this point.
Okay. Well, as you said, I'm an HR and networking professional, and I have nearly 10 years of experience combined in both fields.
Okay.
I've worked and partnered with recruitment agencies in the past, and I recommended candidates directly to employers during the pandemic.
Okay.
So as I grew and made connections, I developed quite a bit of a network of employers and recruiters across Canada.
Right.
Actually, now it's 10,000 plus.
Cool.
And I grow that network daily on LinkedIn by connecting with more and more employers till on a personal note.
Yeah.
And I recommend the recruiters that I've got in my network to the employers that are out there that I reach out to, and the ones who contact me and let me know that they're hiring.
Okay.
So I kind of facilitate connections between the recruiters and the employers. I don't charge employers for the recommendation to a recruiter. Okay. And I only charge recruiters if they're successful in placing candidates. So there's no pressure.
Right. So I mean, interesting take. Would this be similar to? Sorry, is there a bit of a delay there? I guess. Apologies.
No problem.
And I can hear you. Yeah, I was going to say a bit of a delay, but so compared to say like, I mean, let's sort of. I mean, that's super cool. So you've got a huge network of people. You've been able to build it out. So what would you say sort of the difference between yourself and say, utilizing, let's say, LinkedIn to recruit? Like I mean, obviously LinkedIn has sort of like job postings and people can apply. Like what would be the difference between yourself and say like a LinkedIn? I mean, how would you kind of differentiate yourself between those two?
Employers spend a lot of time, money, and effort doing that, looking for candidates.
Right.
And they also get approached by recruitment agencies, and they tell me about the good and the bad about that. So for what they're looking for when they do reach out to them. Right. So I know what to look for in highlights when I'm reaching out to recruiters. That's a big thing,
Okay.
But for LinkedIn, when employers do that, it takes a lot of time. And on Indeed, when employers post jobs on Indeed, it takes a while to screen the candidates and do that. I'm able to connect them with recruiters who will screen them for them. So it just, and I can recommend the right recruiters so they don't have 100 phone calls.
Right. So is the recruiter then doing the interviews and you're then just introducing them to the recruiter? Is that kind of the connection there?
Yes.
So you're like the matchmaker. So do you have sort of
exactly what I do.
There you go. So you're finding like the truly talented individual for that specific role, or maybe a group of a small select handful of very specific candidates, if you will, for a role.
Yes. The recruiters who specialize in different areas too, like IT. When I worked with recruitment agencies before, we were filling like manufacturing and warehouse and administration. And I had
Okay.
to say no to employers who were looking to fill other positions. So that's where I started to reach out to other recruiters and realize people did that in different areas. And I'm also able to reach out and connect with recruiters who are local across Canada. So somebody local to the employer.
Right.
They don't want somebody from Vancouver when they're in Ontario, but I have a local connection that I've already said hello to and can open the door, you know?
Right. So just to kind of understand, and those watching, obviously, you know, I guess reach out to Amanda if you are looking for a role, or looking for, if you're a recruiter and you're looking to fill positions, or if you're an organization looking to connect. But so let's talk about, you know, when you approach, let's sort of play sort of like role play a little bit. Let's say I'm a employer or a recruiter. You choose which I am. And you've reached out to me. How does that conversation, or how does that sort of discussion go? Let's say I'm an employer, a large employer, and I'm looking for you know, staff or employees.
So the first thing I would do is ask you if I can get some more details about the position, so I know exactly what you're looking for. And if it's more convenient for you that happens over email or by a phone call, or I'm open to a Google meeting, but whichever best fits your schedule.
Right.
So then I'm able to screen through my database, my recruiter database. And I take notes on every position, on the positions they specialize for, so I can get back to you as an employer and recommend them to you. And you can let me know if you've worked with them before, if it's somebody new. Great. Let me, can you give me their contact information, or can they contact me? So whatever works best for you.
Right.
If you would like to contact them yourself, or if you'd like to have them give you a call.
Interesting. So, okay. So I sense this is news to me. I mean, I'll be honest. I've never necessarily used or gone through a recruiter type of opportunity. And just so,
Yes.
how much, I mean, obviously this varies, and, you know, it's probably a fluid thing, but what does a recruiter typically charge, I assume, to the employer to facilitate the recruitment? What would that kind of look like typically?
A lot of employers charge between 18 and 20% of the first year annual salary for the position. A lot of recruiters charge the employer that.
Right. Okay.
So I ask for about 2 to 3% of that for if the recruiter places the candidate, because I want to work with that recruiter again.
Okay.
So
You're getting of the
that's
18, you're getting 3% of the 18. They're going to get 15% essentially.
about that, yes. And
Yeah.
I'm reasonable with that. It depends on the position and whatever works. I just want to be able to work with the recruiters again. So,
Yeah.
sometimes the first time it's a little bit lower, and we grow as we work with each other,
So you're kind of the recruiter's best friend, looking for on all angles the talent, and the company is kind of bringing them together for the recruiter.
Yes.
Okay. So and how long, you said you've been doing this for currently for about 10 years, you know, as part of other agencies. How long have you been doing this on your own?
On my own, I would say about, trying to count now, 3.5. I would say about 5 years on my own.
5 years? Okay.
Like absolutely on my own, but part of that was through the pandemic when nobody could go to work. So it just made sense to get started on my own and just keep making connections, because, I don't stop, right? So I didn't want to do that.
So just out of curiosity, what, like, roughly how many roles would you say you've been able to facilitate, or have you been sort of party to? Like, how many actual employment opportunities have you been tied to over the past few years? Roughly, like tens, hundreds, thousands?
I would say hundreds.
Hundreds?
I would
Okay.
say hundreds. I mean, and that would be where we're reaching a successful placement.
Yeah, exactly. Like an
So that's
actual,
not just the connection to the employer. And then from there, the employers are able to work with the recruitment agencies afterwards and keep on going. So, I mean, for me, a lot of the times it's just that introduction that I get, because if they trust the agency, they'll call them directly next time.
Right. So I guess sort of, you know, very entrepreneurial, very much like a networking type of role that you have, very much on your own. Sort of, you're like the hunter out there finding the
Yeah.
opportunities on both ends, and then sort of introducing them. Is there a step, or like where do you see your next step? Is there an opportunity maybe for you to become a recruitment agency, if you will, or a recruiter at that level, or what are your kind of what's your next step, or how do you see yourself evolving over the next 3 to 5 years, the next 3 to 5 years?
So right now I'm laying out some groundwork for different partners for different provinces. By connecting with employers and recruiters ahead of time, it'll be easy for me to reach out to those connections and let them know that I have a local partner in the area. And I'm really hoping to do that. I'm making connections all the way across to Newfoundland. So but it would be great to have local partners, to be able to have a network of that. Also for time zones, because the time zones are further ahead. I can make them work, but it would be better to have a local connection. It always is.
Right.
And it would allow me to expand our network as well. I'm also being asked if I reach out into the US, recruiters in the US.
Okay.
But I wanted to make it across Canada first, and I wanted to develop some partners here. And in a way that I've got a model so that when I approach into the US, if I develop partners down in those states, I've got something that's already working.
Yeah, no, that's for
So
sure. The US is definitely a
doing.
good, huge opportunity for most people, right? To expand in the US. It's, 10
Yes.
times that of Canada, but yeah, it's good to solidify what you have in your own sort of backyard, right? If you will.
Exactly. And I mean, I'm also using automation now too for Google Documents and charts so that we'll all be able to access those and keep things in sync.
Okay.
Because I find that there's a lot of emails that go back and forth, and sometimes if you could just put it all in the same document and update each other, you can get that information at any time of the day. So I'm seeing the advantages and things that I didn't use before.
Cool. So you live in
yeah.
Abbotsford. Would you say let's take a sort of a different sort of approach to this. Would you say obviously the economy, don't want to get too much into that, but where would you say the job market is currently in, let's say, BC for example? What's the job market looking like for first quarter of 2024? How do you see it kind of evolving over the next 12 months?
You know what? I'm seeing a bit of a slowdown at first. I mean, you get a slowdown. It's a bit of a roller coaster, is what I'm finding. But I think that people are learning to specialize in the areas that are needed. But then you have to wait for people to get some training to specialize in those areas. We'll get there, but we need to know how to get there, right?
Right.
So that's what I'm finding. I'm getting a lot of employers who are willing to accept employees that are willing to be trained or gain further knowledge, which is great because they can get in there early without having to have that before they walk in the door. A smooth transition,
Right.
So
yeah.
that's what I'm finding anyways. The network is, there's opportunities, whether people have all the qualifications for the new opportunities. That's questionable, right? But
yeah, no, for sure. So, I mean, it obviously the world is changing too. I mean, you look at some of the roles that are, arguably being, I'll ask a different question then actually to touch on that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on kind of AI and the workforce? Are you seeing an impact there?
Yes, I am. I worked with an agency who was using AI, and they were using it to automate emails and automate their responses to people on LinkedIn. But there's some areas where AI is going to be helpful, where it can automate things. But if you're trying to contact people personally, you might just want to do that yourself, because employers are catching on that it's AI. And some people not everybody is a fan of that. They think that the same message went out to 100 people,
Right. No, for sure.
So that's what I find for your personal connection. But a lot of the things that we spend time on routinely, AI is perfect.
And I was thinking too, like within
the step in and do it.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's great for automation, but I was thinking too, within the job space, so jobs that maybe were available, 1, 3, 5, 10 years ago are maybe being replaced by AI are there other job
Yes.
opportunities that you're seeing that are new as a result of AI? I'm thinking like, one example might be like a prompt engineer, right? Are those types of roles? Are you seeing more and more of those types of roles as AI becomes more and more prominent?
I've had employers reach out to me to fill AI roles. I have had some difficulty matching them with recruiters because I didn't have any previously in the
Okay.
field. I
Okay.
mean, as things come open, I mean, it's a challenge for me. It's always a good challenge to
Yeah,
reach
yeah.
out to more recruiters. But some areas, if it's something new, it's a little gray for me for a minute. I've got to reach out and keep on growing, you know?
Yeah,
And I'm
no,
willing to do that every day. If somebody says, can you find me a recruiter in this? Then that's where I'm looking next.
right. Is
So.
AI skill sets, people that have skill sets to help build out or implement or work within AI or the AI framework.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So there is a bit of a shift. It's still early on, but you are seeing those requests coming.
I am, yes. It's just about finding the right people for them and finding, it's hard to say that somebody is specialized in something for 10 years when we've only started doing that. So it
Yeah, yeah,
depends on what an employer is looking for.
yeah.
Reasonably, if we know how long it's been out and they've specialized in it that long, or their certification, or they can show what they've done for others.
Right. Yeah, experience, right, in that field. Yeah, I mean, if AI has only been out, like a chat GPT's only been around for roughly a year, it's not like you're gonna have somebody that has 5 years experience, right? So, you definitely need to take that into consideration. So, and I guess appreciate you joining me here, Amanda. Where can people find you? Obviously, LinkedIn. Amanda
Yes.
Deschamps. What about your website? Where else? Are you on other social media channels? Is there anything coming up? Events that you might be participating in that that people can find you?
So currently I don't have a website. That is one area that I'm thinking of looking into a partner or maybe perhaps an investor. Somebody wants to step in and work in an area there because it's just not something I specialize in. And I don't want it to look like I don't specialize in it, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
So that's why I haven't got a website yet. I have a Gmail account, of course, the best network of recruiters at gmail.com. And of course, my phone number. I don't know if I should just,
No, don't worry
yeah,
about
but
that. But I think the best way they can probably connect with you, and so I mean, obviously you're building out the website a little bit, so that's to be determined. But obviously they can connect with you on LinkedIn, right? You've got
definitely.
about 5,000 people I saw on LinkedIn, so you've got it built
Yes,
up a network there for sure. So
yes.
they
I have
connect
an
with you.
account also. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I have an
Sorry.
account on LinkedIn as well. It's a headquarters account for the best network of recruiters, and it's not the business account. It's
Okay.
another account. So I mean, it's just allowed me to make more connections each week. So now that's where you'll see more. You'll see a couple thousand more connections there. I've also have initiative that I started a long time ago. We love BC businesses on Instagram.
Okay.
So a lot of the business owners I've connected with there, I've been able to tell them about what I do. I may not have connected with them on LinkedIn, but I've connected with them. So
And also you've got we love business BC businesses as
yes,
well. You've written a book, Become Your Best Self, right? Guided planner.
yes, that's a guided planner. Yeah, my daughter is actually homeschooled and she is in middle school and they don't get planners. So I wanted something that would work for young adults and for young students that don't have that option for their studying or whatever they're trying to get done with their week, you know?
Right. So yeah, no. So there's a couple ways. Obviously, you've got the best network of recruiters is a LinkedIn, as you said, headquarters. You've got yourself, so they can connect you through LinkedIn as well. And then I noticed one of the other things. So obviously, we love BC businesses, which is a interesting. So you've got the We Love BC businesses on Instagram, and then I saw this
Yeah.
other one, Kids Can Cook. And is that
Yeah.
another initiative that you've got?
My homeschooling daughter, that's an initiative that she is starting. So I'm able to help back her with that. I've got a degree in business, so I'm able to help her kind of lay it out. It's taking
Okay.
a little bit longer, of course. She's 12. So,
Right.
but you know,
No.
we're paving a path, right?
Yeah. No, my kids are keen on starting things as well. They watch me do what I do, so they're like, "Oh, I'm going to start this. I'm going to do that." And actually, my son's he's 10, and he's actually been cooking all kinds of different things. He's baking this and doing all kinds of different things in the kitchen. So he enjoys that. So we were joking about him becoming he wants to go to France and become a pastry chef when he's older. So could be interesting. But yeah, it's good. It's good to kids, do different things, obviously explore different things, whether it's, whatever that whatever floats, or enjoyment they get from it, right? It's fun to have different experiences and try new and different things. So that's cool. So is that a program then? Maybe tell us a little bit about what that program is. Kids Can Cook that your daughter's starting out. What should we look out for? What is it? Sort of give us the lowdown on it a little bit.
So I looked into Amazon publishing after I created a template for the cookbook. So I've got a template with the pages for the recipe that they can do, a bio of the cooks, their whole recipe, the ingredients for children to submit it. I'll plug it into the book for them. And Amazon will print them for us in hard copy. And they'll do them in shiny covers if we want that, whatever, I mean, I believe it's up to $60 or so, but you can pack in 30 colored recipes in there for 30 full colored pages.
Right.
Cover included, hardcover laminated. And all the profits from the books, like I'll take a little bit off of the top, and I mean a very little bit, to put the book together, but all the children will share profits from any book that's sold on Amazon.
Okay, cool. So it'll be kind of a collaborative. Sorry, I think it'll be sort of like a collaborative or collaboration of multiple people participating in it.
Yes, young entrepreneurs. So every cook will be an entrepreneur. If they want to put in 6 recipes, then you're going to get that portion of the, of the profits from that book.
Very cool. Yeah, that's
So I'm going to work it out as like, so much % per recipe for sales, right? But if they put in a lot of recipes, they can make themselves some money just by being creative, right? Send me some pictures of the recipes they're cooking and let me know what you use to cook it. And a little bit about the chef, because I'd love that,
Yeah, a little backstory.
My daughter told me that. She goes, I want my picture in there, and she goes, an introduction about me. So I figured each chef might appreciate the same.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a very cool initiative. We should connect maybe offline and talk about that, because I know my son would probably be interested. I'm sure many other kids out there would be interested in participating in something like that, maybe getting a recipe out there and being a part of a collaborative sort of community, book that's put together in business that maybe can generate some revenue for them. So very cool. Well, Amanda, I really appreciate you joining me.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Everyone check out Amanda Deschamps on LinkedIn, the best recruiter network as well. Kids Can Cook. And
best network of recruiters.
Sorry, yeah, that exactly. I was just gonna say the best network of recruiters. There's a little colon in there, right?
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. The best.
Yes.
The best network of recruiters. So check that out as well. And this will be up so people can see it. Again, everyone else, thank you for joining me. This is One Take, powered by Backers. I'm Justin Fox, joined by Amanda. Amanda, thank you very much again for joining me.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Awesome. Cheers. Thank you. Hey there. Welcome to One Take, powered by Backers.
Right? No judging. No judging.
The millennials are really changing that.
Is charm. No.
All success begins with desire.
I feel like I'm on fire right now.
OMG, baby.